Hey guys, and welcome into another video. Now today, it's been a long time since obviously I've done a video, and there's an explanation for it. I've told you prior to this that I was gonna, bring it up and stuff. But I'll be saving it for another video. But the important news is I'm back. So we've upgraded. We definitely have a better camera. It's not set up right now, but we have a better camera that we're gonna get to. We got good lighting. We got a great microphone now. We're definitely doing a lot better. And more importantly, I'm excited. I'm ready to do more videos. I know the draft is not too far away. Free agency has been crazy lately. So let me know in your comment section down below, like, what has your team been doing? You know, which team are you a fan of? How have they been doing in free agency? Who are you looking towards to the draft? And of course, we're going to be doing a mock draft today. Now, I did a mock draft today because it's kind of going to set the precedent for the rest of at least the next month or so. And that's really going to be a lot following the draft process. We're going to go over free agency a little bit. I'll do a Giants video. As you know, I'm a Giants fan as well. But the main thing that I really want to focus on, especially with this upcoming month, is the draft. And now what I'm going to be doing is a little bit different. Last year I did 7-round mock drafts, and I built basically like a way to present the players, talk about them, other things like that. I'm going to do a little differently this year. I'm going to kind of make it to where you guys get to decide who you really want on your players. So basically, we're going to be using a website. It might be one you see now, it might be a different one. And we're just going to be using the certain teams that are picking. We'll go from first to last or whatever it may be. We're going to go through every team as much as we can. Hopefully, we can get through every team. And we're just going to do maybe 2 or 3 mock drafts, 7-round mock drafts of them, see how they turn out, see how they're looking, and just kind of go from there, let you guys decide who you really want. We'll select different players. That way, it kind of gives you a breath of fresh air of, hey, every draft that we have, the Jags are taking Trevor Lawrence at number 1, but what if they take, freaking Jamar Chase? It's obviously not going to happen, but I'm saying, like, do things like that. So let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Of course, subscribe if you are new. Subscribing count, likes, all that stuff has been going up, even with my long time away, almost 2 months away. So I really do appreciate the love and support that you guys have been showing me. And without further ado, we're going to do a mock draft, man. Let's get excited. So, full transparency, I'm not as in tune with the players and the prospects as I was last year, but I still know a decent amount. This is probably my least prepared year possible, but I think that's pretty much everyone's point at this point. So without further ado, let's just do this. And of course, thank you guys so much for supporting. I really do appreciate it. And leave a like if you guys do enjoy it. But let's go ahead and do this. Pick one's gonna be Trevor Lawrence. Not even a question. They could look at Zach Wilson or something like that, but I really just don't think they will. Trevor Lawrence has been the number 1 overall pick for 3 years. He's going to stay the number 1 overall pick. I just think he's the best fit. They just signed a receiver in free agency, Marvin Jones, alongside with DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault back there, James Robinson. They got, I think, Carlos Hyde to help him out. So the offense is looking a lot better. The offense is looking a lot better for a guy like Trevor Lawrence to step into and use that draft capital a lot more on defense. They just got Shaquille Griffin from the Seahawks as well. So really, the Jags are looking like they're set up to, if they draft well at the spot that they're in, be right back in the hunt for the playoffs starting literally next season. I wouldn't be surprised if they are there. So Trevor Lawrence going to the Jags. Can't wait to see what he can do in Jacksonville. Pick number 2. I've flip-flopped and tossed around. Now, personally for me, and I'm gonna be upfront with this, I do not think this player is as good as people make him out. People make him out to be possibly as good as Trevor Lawrence, and that is Zach Wilson. I'm gonna take him here for the Jets. The reason why you need a culture change. You got rid of Adam Gase. You're bringing in a guy with Robert Saleh. I really do think Darnold isn't a wash in the NFL. I think he can be somewhere, but get some draft capital for him and use the 2nd overall pick on a guy that people really do think is going to be a stud in this league. You give your team an identity. They just got Corey Davis from free agency along with Crowder and Mims still there. You have a foundation, a weak one at that, but you do have a foundation. Get a brand new quarterback. Trade Darnold, get maybe a third and a 5th maybe. And I think you'll do a lot better. So I think that's a good spot for them to be in. Get Zach Wilson there. Now at pick 3, a lot of needs. The Dolphins have had a weird postseason. Getting rid of some players, bringing in some players as well. But for me, their top 4 needs are exactly what they show there. They need a tackle. P.N.I. Sewell's on the board. They need a receiver. Jamar Chase is on the board. They need an edge rusher. You got Rousseau and stuff on the board, but they're probably not going to go there. Running backs, of course, you're not going to get a running back this high. There's no Saquon Barkley, McCaffrey type in this draft. So at pick 3, it really comes down to, do you want to go with P.N.I. Sewell or do you want to go with Jamar Chase? It really is a toss-up in the air for me personally. And by the way, if I mess up some drafts, this is just a very rough mock draft. So I might not know exactly who free agency everyone's brought in at the moment. But for me, I just think that Ja'Marr Chase is a superstar receiver, and I think he's been one. And just because he didn't play this year doesn't mean he lost that value. I really do think he is a superstar when it comes down to it. He's gonna be as good as Devontae Parker, if not better, his first year, and you're gonna grow from there. So having a young quarterback in Tua, giving him a young weapon in Ja'Marr Chase, as well as a lockdown 3 more year contract in Devontae Parker as well. It gives him some offense to work with. I think it's really good for Ja'Marr, the Dolphins, and everybody else. So Sewell, as much as I do think he is great, and building an offensive line is always going to be good. You laid some foundation down last year. Some of them better than others, but getting an offensive lineman, I think you can suffice with somebody in the second round to help out Tua as much as you can. But Ja'Marr Chase definitely would help out a lot in Miami for Tua or for whoever you want to play at quarterback, Deshaun Watson or whoever it may be. Now here at pick 4, Falcons are here, and they have some needs, man. They really do. This team is a team that has a lot of good names, but has not really produced the way that you'd think that they would. So when you look at the team, I really do see them doing different things. I think for me, the two people I'm between is Fields and Pitts. Pitts is an absolute beast of a talent. I really do think so. But Fields sets you up for a good future. But what I'm going to do for them is I'm going to give him Kyle Pitts. Hayden Hurst can play alongside him, which is good. Pitts can really line up anywhere. Getting more weapons. This team is an offensive mastermind when it comes to scoring the football. Matt Ryan is able to get the ball to Julio and Ridley. Gurley did his thing last year with I don't know if they're going to keep him, but getting a guy like Pitts, Hurst had a good year last year. You're keeping that offense fresh. You still have years on Ryan. You still have Julio. Yes, they're older. They're in their 30s, but that doesn't mean that they're completely washed. It doesn't mean that they're bad. They're definitely not bad. They're still way above average, above most of the league average. So I definitely think adding to that offense and giving whatever quarterback you do take, whether it be a quarterback in the second round or third round, or it be a free agent quarterback or even a quarterback next year, it sets that guy up to have a weapon in Kyle Pitts, Ridley as well, and really set them up well, because Hurst is already 26, 27. He was an old rookie, so it's definitely going to help out the team in the long run and for the short term to get Kyle Pitts. Here at pick 5, Bengals are happy at pick 5 that Penei Sewell is still there. No need to talk about him. We all know he's been one of the best prospects coming out for the past couple of years, and now that he's finally ready and draft eligible, he's going to make Joe Burrow very, very happy. Here at pick 6, Eagles have a lot of needs. They would have loved to see a guy like Kyle Pitts or Ja'Marr Chase fall to them. Unfortunately, they have not. They got their guy in Jalen Hurts. I'm not going to go after a quarterback. I just don't think it's needed. They're not going to get that tight end. So it's really a matter of, hey, do they want to get a wide receiver, or do they want to lock down at corner? Where do they really want to go? Now, I think for me personally, the Eagles, if this draft goes the way it is, Ja'Marr Chase and Pitts are off the board, I'd try and trade down. I don't think there's a big enough need to do it, but they got rid of Alshon Jeffrey. They do have Rager still. They do have Fulgham, who had a pretty decent year last year. So if they were to get a receiver, I do think that it would be Devontae Smith over Waddle, because Waddle really is giving you the same thing that Rager is going to give you, and it kind of seems like you'd be giving Rager a wash. But when it comes down to it, I don't know what the Eagles are going to do. I really don't. It's a weird situation for them to be in, the post-Wentz era now and everything. So I really don't know. I think I like Farley as the best corner in this class. You do have Slay over there, but they did lose somebody. I know they lost Jalen Mills to the Patriots, but I feel like they lost another corner as well. But when it comes down to it, pick 6, they need some offensive weapons. Sanders is good, but they just need help. So I'm actually gonna give him Jalen Waddle. I think Smith is the better pick, but a lot of people are viewing Waddle as the second best receiver in this class. I always worry, because every year we have this guy's the next Tyreek Hill. It was John Ross before Tyreek Hill, but it was John Ross coming out. This guy's a speed demon. He's gonna be a beast. Drafted, he's not really doing anything. Hopefully, he has a resurgence this year in New York, but. Then you go to last year with Ruggs. Ruggs had a decent year, but really it wasn't anything special. The year before that, Hollywood Brown. 2 years in, Hollywood's really not been anything for the NFL, for the Ravens, or anything. So I'm worried if it's just kind of a thing that no one's going to be Tyreek, and we got to stop chasing him. But any guy that's fast and can catch the ball on deep balls is going to get drafted high first round and be compared to Tyreek Hill. So I'm not sure about Waddle. I don't know how great he's going to be translating to the NFL, but let's hope for the best. Or hope for the worst, in my opinion, because I'm a Giants fan. But Jalen Waddle going to the Eagles, you have a high-flying offense, a fast-paced offense there in Philadelphia. Now, pick 7, Lions lost Marvin Jones, and they lost Kenny Golladay. They need a receiver. There's not even questions. Devontae Smith's going off the board here. You just need any type of receiver, and he's going to help you out a lot. So hopefully they do make some moves in free agency and do that. Pick 8. Now, the Panthers don't have... They don't have Deshaun Watson at this point. I don't know if they're making a strong push for him, is what I'm hearing. But I don't know if they're going to get him. I really don't. So for me, I'm going to do what I think is best, and I'm going to get them a quarterback in Justin Fields, just because I think he's going to be a little bit more pro-ready than Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance probably has a higher upside, but Fields, I feel like you could throw out there in week 1 and he'd be fine. You getting McCaffrey back, you're getting Robbie Anderson. You lost Curtis Samuel, but you still got Anderson and DJ Moore, so you still have a good enough team, in my opinion. I think that this is a really good spot for them to be in. I don't know why they don't like Teddy B much, but it's a new regime coming in, obviously, and they thought Teddy B would be a lot better. I just think it was because McCaffrey was gone. But for me, get Fields if you want to go young, and get your quarterback for the future if you strike out on the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. Now we go over to pick 9, where the Denver Broncos are there, and they're picking a corner, and it's going to be the best corner on the board. It's Caleb Farley. Easy. And then, ironically, the next pick is going to be Patrick Surtain. Either way it goes there, I think it's going to go with those 2 picks, just because of the simple fact that those 2 teams really need a corner. We saw the Cowboys lose out on Awuzie to the Bengals, I believe, is where he went. So it's going to be... Oh, one second. Anyway, they lost out to Awuzie to the Bengals, so that really hurts because he was their best corner, and that's not even saying much for the Cowboys. They just really were lackluster there. So getting Surtain to be with Diggs, back-to-back Alabama picks at corner. You still got Jordan Lewis there, which is decent. The secondary is really just lackluster, but you got to start building it at some point, and you don't have the money to spend to get much. So, unless they go after like a Josh Norman or something that might help them with a vet presence, I really just don't see much coming at this corner position unless they go through the draft. So draft well, Jerry. Let's see what you can do. Now we're here at pick 11. And I'm going to go under the assumption that Kenny Galladay is a Giant. I'm hoping that I'm going to knock on wood. I'm hoping that is not a mistake. He's going to meet with them tomorrow or today when you're seeing this. So hopefully he is a Giant. I'm going to imagine that he's a Giant. And also, I don't really think there's any receivers left on the board right now that would be anything, because I just don't think Rashad Bateman or what's the other one from Florida? Terrace Marshall, but Tony, whatever it is there. But what I do think is an edge rusher in Greg Rousseau is going to be the pick. It just makes a lot of sense to get a guy like Greg Rousseau. I don't know why he's all the way down here on their board, but Rousseau was a beast. He was going to be probably a top 10 pick, but I'm pretty sure he's another guy who opted out this season and lost a lot of value because of it. But I really do think the edge is something that they need. Getting a Denabo, I think is how you say it, from Minnesota, not going to do anything. You lose Dalvin Tomlinson. So getting Leonard Williams, and you still have B.J. Hill, you still have Dexter Lawrence. Plug that middle, do what you can there, and getting a guy like Greg Rousseau to really set the edge alongside Lorenzo Carter, O'Shane Ximines, it's gonna do a lot for the team. Then you have on the offense, you still have Saquon, Galladay at this point, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Evan Ingram, etc. So I think that's just the best way to do it, is get an edge rusher. The only other thing I could do is pick a corner. If somehow one of these guys falls, a corner would be nice to go alongside. Keep Darnay in that slot and have Bradbury be an absolute beast out there. But yeah, I mean, the Giants are looking like a really young, solid team. This might be the year that they win the division. We don't really know. This division is very much in turmoil of who can take it. I think all the teams are in a really good spot. It's from the Eagles to the football team to the Cowboys to the Giants. I think every one of them is in a good spot, and teams can surprise people. Let's see what happens. Pick 12 here, they're saying that the Niners should go after a quarterback. Now, I'm one of those things that Jimmy G is good. I don't know why people think that Jimmy G's not. People try and get rid of him. I just don't get it personally. I don't get it. But they need interior offensive linemen. They need a corner. They need offensive tackle. They need a lot. So what I'm going to do for them is give them a guy in Elijah Vera Tucker. He's all the way down here, but I think he's a little bit better than that. Because you can use him at guard, you can use him at tackle, kind of move him where you want to do. I just think that he is more versatile. I think he'd be a little bit better. Slater is definitely the better prospect, but I think that the versatility of Vera Tucker is going to help them out a lot. They just signed Trent Williams to a massive deal, so helping out the interior is going to be a little bit more of a focal point, in my opinion. Now you go to the Chargers. Chargers are happy because Rashawn Slater's still on the board, so they're going to get an offensive tackle. I've been saying it for years. I had them getting Mekhi Becton last year. They didn't end up getting him, so I really do think the Chargers need to focus on offensive line, protect Herbert, protect your investment. He had a great year. He's a rookie of the year, so you need to protect him. Getting a guy like Slater is going to do that. Pick 14 here for the Vikings. Vikings did some solid work this offseason. Jefferson and Thielen has been a monster combo. Cook, obviously. Looking towards a Kirk replacement, possibly in Trey Lance. With him being on the board at 14, you wonder, hey, do we want, is this somebody we want to go to? You look at the line or offensive tackle or things. There's a lot of things you could do here with the Vikings. I really do. They've seemed like they've invested in Kirk for whatever reason, and I think they're going to stay with that. So for me, I think that they'll either go with best available or they'll just go with somebody that can really help them out on the offensive line. And they've been doing that a lot. But you still need some help. Riley Reef, I think, was a starter last year. He's gone. So I'm going to give him Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. I just think he's going to be the best selection for them. But Trey Lance is definitely somebody that is he's worthy of it. So you're looking now here at the Patriots. Patriots have done so much work this offseason to just make this team so much better. Trey Lance is on the board. You could get your quarterback for the future. But you have Cam Newton. And Cam Newton's on a 1-year deal. But this is a team that's surrounded with talent. You still have Stidham, if you believe in Stidham. But I think they can afford to wait another year on a quarterback. I really do. I think that they should go after best available and Micah Parsons. Get another linebacker to help out. They just signed Van Noy not too long ago. They're getting Hightower back. Just getting guys that can really roam the field and just do a lot. I think that's just a very good thing that the Patriots have been able to do. They're always able to use their defense as good as they can. They've really stacked up that offense with Jonnu and Hunter Henry, Nelson Aguilar. You know, they've definitely done their due diligence to get that offense where it needs to be. So Micah Parsons being a great pick there. They could go after a running back, maybe a Najee Harris or ETN if they really do want. But I think this is a point where Bill Belichick does a classic. He trades out of the first round, and I wouldn't be mad about it. But Micah Parsons being there, absolute beast at the position. He'd be such higher if they didn't have the off-season or the off-field issues that he's had. But that's a different story for another day. Here at pick 16, I think that there's no way in heck that the Cardinals are not drafting a running back here, and I'm going to go with Travis Etienne. They got J.J. Watt. They just signed Rodney Hudson. They got A.J. Green. You know, they've really stacked up almost every spot. They lost Patrick Peterson, so a corner wouldn't be too bad, like a J.C. Horn or somebody. But I really do think that getting a guy like Etienne to just be an absolute stud. You're going to have Kyler Murray, Travis Etienne, DeAndre Hopkins, A.J. Green. You know, you still got Isabella. Hopefully Fitzgerald is there. Kirk is still there. The tight end position is another one that you could look at. But I really do think that's just going to be a great pick for them. Pick 17 here for the Raiders. Raiders got rid of every offensive lineman, so they need to go after an offensive lineman. And they're saying Tevin Jenkins is the best one. I think it's between Mayfield or Cosme. Reduns is... I don't know how to say his last name. He's really good as well. I don't know if Tevin Jenkins is my top guy, but they're saying that he is. So I'm just gonna go with what they're saying and just go get Tevin Jenkins. I don't know what's happening with the Raiders, man. I really don't. Kyle, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I was just texting my friend about that. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening in Vegas, but that's all I can say, man. That's really all I can say. You look here at pick 18 now with the Dolphins. They need to do some stuff. They need to do some stuff, man. Quarterbacks like Trey Lance, Mac Jones still being on the board is definitely going to be something that is eye-opening to them. It's like, hey, you know, what could we do here? But I think they're going to want somebody to set the edge, and that is going to be Kwity Paye for me. Just help out on that edge, get some presence there as well. Pick 19, Washington's foaming at the mouth. They're going to have a year of Fitzpatrick, and they're going to have a guy like Trey Lance to back him up and be the successor to him, and that's going to be very good. Now at pick 20, Foles and Andy Dalton combo in Chicago is here, and we've all been waiting for it. Chicago games are going to be fun to watch again. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic as hell. I just feel so bad for Bears fans, man. They're ruining the careers of Mack and Hicks and Fuller, Robinson, keeping Robinson hostage basically, but I just don't see them going quarterback. I really don't. I just don't think they're a team that wants to draft a quarterback after what happened with Trubisky or how they misused Trubisky, in my opinion. So I think they're just going to go after something to help, and I think that's going to be a receiver. And you look at who's there. You got Tony, you got Marshall, you got Moore, you got Bateman. Personally, I like Bateman the most, but I've seen Tony going the highest, so I'm going to give him Kadarius Toney. I would go Bateman, but I think Tony is the guy that they want to have, especially because they're trying to get rid of Anthony Miller. Robinson doesn't want to play on the tag. There's a lot of turmoil there. Now you go over to pick 21 here, the Colts. I think they need some help on the secondary. They also could use some help at receiver. So let's just see. I think they're going to go J.C. Horn here. I think it's a good point for J.C. Horn. Just helping out, getting some more players in that secondary. That defense was legit last year. Wentz should have some options here. I don't think you need to take a receiver here because I think that you can get a similar caliber player. I like Bateman a lot more than most people, but I think you get a similar player in the second round or trade back into the late first to try and get somebody there. Pick 22 here for the Titans. They lost out on Corey Davis, but this isn't a team that really uses receivers too highly. I think they could take another second rounder or something to help out. They really could use somebody at the offensive tackle. They got rid of Kelly. They got rid of Isaiah Wilson in a trade. So this is a good spot for Cosme or Mayfield to go off the board. And I'm going to give him Jalen Mayfield out of Michigan because I think he'll play that right tackle spot well as he did in college. Pick 23 here for the Jets. Already got their quarterback in Zach Wilson. Hopefully they got some extra picks for the Darnold thing. And now they can try and just do what they need to do. Now, I think a guy like Najee Harris would really help them out because they really don't have a run game right now. There's just a lot of things that they can do, but a lot of people are saying that Javonte Williams might be as good of a running back as any of those. You still have Chuba Hubbard down there, Trey Sermon as well. So there's definitely a lot of good running backs. I think they can get one in the second or third round. They'll be okay. Edge rusher, corner, even wide receiver, I think is a good spot. But they got Corey Davis. I'm not too upset about their receiving core. So I think with Ojulari, I couldn't say it. Azeez Ojulari is there. Get some help on the edge. Hopefully help the scheme a little bit with Saleh there. I think just getting some defensive players. You're not going to escape the first round without getting one defensive player for your guy, Robert Saleh. But then you go to pick 24 here for the Steelers. Mac Jones is on the board. He's looking nice. Do they trust Benny Snell to handle the load? They do not have James Conner anymore. He is not signed anywhere, but they do not have him at this moment. So do you want to go after a guy like Najee Harris to kind of help out that load in Pittsburgh? I think you should. Will they? Don't know. But I'm going to give him Najee Harris just because I want to. It's my mock draft. I should be able to do some of the picks that I want. But yeah, Najee Harris will help him out a lot. He'll kind of be the better version of James Conner for the Steelers. You still have Benny Snell out there to be able to do more. You could replace Juju or even try and bring him back, but I think it's going to help out their offense a lot, which, Big Ben's aging. You need somebody to help out and just kind of give him a little bit of a break, man. The guy's almost 40 years old, and he looks it on the field. Pick 25 here for the Jags. They got their quarterback. They have a really good offense. They could help with the offensive line as well, but they could use help on the defense. I'm going to give him Trevon Moore out of TCU. Really do think he's a solid safety prospect. Only one that I have as a really solid first-round grade. Him falling to 25 is far enough for him. Pick 26 here for the Browns. Ogunjobi just signed somewhere. So they need help on that defensive line. They want someone across the edge. They just signed somebody across the edge on a one-year deal. I forgot who it was. It wasn't a huge signing, but it was still okay, that's a solid signing. I think it was Tack McKinley on the other side, so that's good for them. But for me, they just signed Higgins. They have Peoples-Jones, who had a pretty solid rookie year. It's really just a matter of where do they want to go. I think they go linebacker here and get Owosu Karamoa, just because they lost out on Scobert last year, who got a really big payday. And they really haven't been able to replace that production. I think that a guy like Owosu Karamoa could really do that for them. Pick 27, I'm not going to give the Ravens a receiver because obviously they're not interested in one. They took Hollywood, and since then they've not cared to get one, so I just don't think they'll go after a guy like Rashad Bateman. I do think they'll go after a guy like a Jalen Phillips, though. How about the edge rusher? We just saw, what's his name, go to the Patriots. Can't think of his name for some reason. Really good edge rusher, though. It's not going to come to me. But 28 here, we got Saints. They need a corner. They need a quarterback as well. But they have Mac Jones. They have Taysom Hill getting a bag. So I don't think they're going to go with quarterback. I think receiver, losing Emmanuel Sanders could help out. So I think getting a guy like Rashad Bateman here this late is going to help him out a lot, especially with Thomas getting hurt a little bit. No Breeze there. You kind of need to switch up the scheme. Get another weapon to help out. Pick 29 here. Packers, another team where I just don't think that they're going to get a receiver because they've proven that they don't want to get a receiver, man. As much as I think Terrace Marshall would really help them out, I just don't think they'll get one. So getting a corner and Greg Newsome is a better pick for them in that situation. Kevin King was put on an island last year. You need somebody to be alongside Jair and just kind of run it. I think Newsome is going to do that for the Packers. And, you have an MVP in Rodgers, man. Use that as much as you can. You still have that backup in Jordan Love, who's just sitting there learning. In a couple of years, he's going to be really solid. So pick 30 here. It says corners their biggest need. They just got Levi Wallace back. He wanted to stay. They still have Trey White. I just don't see that as their biggest need. They just signed another receiver, I think, or they were looking at another receiver to join. Or maybe they did. No, they got Sanders. They got Sanders with Diggs and with Beasley. So I don't think they need to go receiver here. I think it's another spot where they can kind of just go best available. They got an offensive tackle here in Cosme if they don't want to go with Cody Ford, which I do see as a possibility. A lot of linebackers here as well, running backs, corners. I really just don't really know where they would go. So I think getting some help defense is so good though. Oh man, the run game wasn't solid, but I don't think unless they really believe in Javonte Williams, I just don't see them getting here. This might just be a point where they go best available. Honestly, I think I'm gonna give them, North Dakota State, Dylan Radins. I don't know. You know how to say his name more than I do. Just because I really do think he's a really good offensive tackle prospect. He's one of my favorites coming out, so hopefully he does succeed. Pick 31, they got rid of most of their offensive linemen, the Chiefs, but they just signed Kyle Long, I believe, and they added somebody else. Receiver's another one, but I think that they have enough there where they don't really need to waste a pick on it. So for me, it's really offensive line or a linebacker. And there's some really solid linebackers still on the board here. Nick Bolton, Zayvon Collins. I feel like there's another one that's on the board that's not popping up. Jabril Cox is there. No, I think it's Zayvon Collins is who I was thinking of. I really do like Zayvon Collins a lot. So do they want to go with the defense? I think they should. Buccaneers really threw some holes in them when that offense is not clicking. They need help on that defense. Getting a guy like Zayvon Collins is going to help. And then last but not least, the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brought back a lot of players, so these draft picks are really important. Do they want to get a successor to Brady and Mac Jones? It's a very similar play style. But for me, I think that they will just kind of go with the best available player. They're not really in a spot. It won't be a linebacker. Nick Bolton's going to have to wait. They could go after Javonte Williams or somebody, but I really do think that they're just going to go best available. I think a defensive tackle is going to help them out a lot, because even if they get Sue back, I just don't think it's going to be really worth it. So it's either Barrymore or, him. I like Tufele, but I think he kind of fell out of the first round. So it's either Barrymore or Levi, and I think Levi's more pro ready, so I'm going to give him that. So if you guys did enjoy the mock draft, of course, please leave a like. It's a little bit over 25 minutes, so please be sure to leave a like if you did stay through it all. Let me know if you like what your team picked here. Let me know who you want to take. Let me know how free agency is going for your team as well. We're going to try and upload as much as we can. I'm trying to do at least 3 to 4 a week if I can. So I'm probably going to have to spend some days where I record multiple videos. So if you see me in the same shirt, don't be roasting me. But I do appreciate you guys sticking around so much. We're at 791 subscribers last time I checked, which is pretty cool. So getting that up is going to be fun to watch if we can. But again, just thank you so much for continuous support. I really do appreciate it during my time off. I really was needed. And I'm hoping that I can come back for full now. So hopefully the mic sounds a little bit better. I'm going to get the camera set up next time. The lighting, hopefully that's good as well. But without further ado, that's going to be for me. Of course, you guys already know. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like. If you didn't, refresh the page. Let me know what you think a second time. And without further ado, guys, that's going to be for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.